Hi again, everybody, and welcome to Cooking with Carolina Nephrology. I'm Dr. Blake Shusterman, and today we're going to make a kidney-friendly dessert. We're going to do a mint chocolate souffle, and this is your chance to see me try to make a souffle, and we will see how it goes. The chocolate souffle is a good break from the traditional kidney-friendly desserts that you see out there, apple cobbler or angel food cake with some whipped topping on it, something that will be good, but after a while you need a little bit of something different. So if you're ready to put in the work, this will be something that you can try at home and that you can make work. The recipe comes from a book here called Creative Kidney Cooking for the Whole Family, and it's by a woman by the name of Rebecca Ingham, who's a dietitian. And I found this book through one of our dialysis units, and it's got a lot of great recipes, great pictures in there, and she's really done a great job, and I encourage you to check it out. So let's get going. One thing that's important for making a souffle is having everything lined out and ready. So we have 2 eggs that are separated over here. They've been warmed to about room temperature and ready to go. We have all our ingredients otherwise ready, because things are going to move pretty fast and you want to make sure you got them set up. We have ramekins over here, 2 ramekins. This is what our souffle is going to cook in. And we're going to add some cooking spray to our ramekins. And then just a little bit of sugar to them. Just kind of a sprinkle of sugar over the bottom of each one. We've got our oven preheated to 375. And I'm going to start with the saucepan over here that I've got heating to about medium heat. And to that, I'm going to add our initial base here. So I've got sugar, and I've got 2 tablespoons of real sugar. Now, I'm going to be using real sugar throughout this whole recipe, but I know that many of you are diabetic and cannot use real sugar. And for that, you can use a sugar substitute, and it will taste just fine. I made it the other day with a sugar substitute. The only thing to be careful of is I would use half the amount of sugar, because the sugar substitutes tend to be a little too sweet. Okay, so we're going to put our 2 tablespoons of sugar in here. Got 2 tablespoons of cocoa. We've got 1 teaspoon of cornstarch. And a little bit of salt, a dash of salt. No problem with that if you're on dialysis. Just be careful with the processed foods. That's where you really get hurt with the sodium. Okay, so we're going to stir that up. Okay, now to this mixture we're going to add 1/3 cup of rice milk, and we're going to stir constantly to make sure things get broken up. So keep stirring this, and we're going to bring it to a boil, which should happen pretty fast. You just got a little bit of fluid in there. So we got 2 tablespoons of chocolate chips, and stir it until those chocolate chips are melted, and about 1/8 of a teaspoon of this peppermint oil. So not only do we have chocolate, but we've got a little mint in there. Okay, so now we've got our nice, delicious looking chocolate mixture. We're going to put this into a small bowl. Make sure you get all that good stuff out of there. To this melted chocolate, we are going to add a little bit of our egg yolk mixture. So we've got just kind of lightly beaten egg yolks here. We're going to add a little bit of the chocolate mixture to the egg yolks here and stir it together. And make a little chocolate egg yolk mixture. And then we're going to go ahead and add it all back to the bowl. And we're going to set this aside and let it cool. Now, while this is cooling on the side comes the hard part, the egg whites. So we've got 2 egg whites here. And if you've watched this before, you know how I feel about eggs and people on dialysis. Eggs are very good for you. We have to boost your protein levels up. So egg whites are a great form of protein. So we've got egg whites only in there, and we are going to go ahead and beat them until we get some soft peaks up. So now that we have our egg whites to about soft peaks, we're going to add sugar. We're going to add 2 tablespoons of sugar, or 1 tablespoon of sugar substitute. a little bit at a time. We'll add half, and then we'll add another half, and then we'll beat it at high until we get some firm peaks that we get with the egg whites. If we're doing it right, that's what we'll get. Okay, now we've got our egg whites beaten, so we got some stiff peaks, okay, and we've really expanded the volume of our egg whites and sugar. We're going to start mixing that back into the chocolate mixture. Now, we want to mix and kind of fold it in. We don't want to really mix it all together and get rid of all this body we've created in the egg whites. So we talk about a quarter of it. We take about a quarter of that mixture and we'll beat that in first, okay? Well, not beat in, but just kind of fold into the chocolate mix. Kind of mix together a little bit. We're going to take the rest of our mixture and fold it in as well. Just until it's just barely combined. And once we've got it kind of folded together, we're going to add it to our Ramekins here. And we have our oven preheated to 375. Again, make sure you get all that good chocolate out into there. Then what we're going to do is pop them in the oven for about 18 to 22 minutes, or until the tops really puff out, if they puff out, and we'll see how it goes. Okay, it's been about 20 minutes. Our soufflés have risen some. Let's take them out. Okay, and now we've got our soufflés. They've risen a little bit. We'll sprinkle them with a little bit of powdered sugar. This is a good kidney-friendly dessert, and enjoy. Thank you for cooking with us today on Cooking with Caroline and Nephrology. You can find us on the web at www.carolinenephrology.com, and we'll see you next time.